It was an instant classic in Falcon country as the Fulton Falcons, late in the fourth quarter, come from behind to knock off the Farragut Admirals by the final score of 33-29. Welcome to a very happy edition of Fulton After Dark here in Falcon country. This is Russell Mays, joined by the head coach of the Fulton Falcons, Rob Black, as the Falcons improved to 6-3 on the year, once again defeating Farragut 33-29. And Coach Black, just an incredible performance by your football team and an outstanding show of resiliency to come from behind and get the win.
I thought so. Just super proud of our effort. You know, I thought we laid it on the line tonight. I thought, you know, we answered the bell several times when it rang, and just super proud of my team, proud of our effort, and just how they toughed it out. And it was a great night at Bob Black Field.
Well, and there would have been several opportunities to throw in the towel, and the team just never gave up.
They didn't, you know, and you know, we challenged our guys the past couple of weeks, and you know, we've talked a lot about playing our best football towards the end of the year, and maybe that's starting to happen. You know, I look at our offensive line and what they were able to do tonight, and you know, I thought Marmar and Davion both ran it really, really well, but I think they would both tell you too, those guys up front put in some work, and so just really proud of our team.
And Farragut is a really good football team. They've had some close losses this year, and tonight adds to that list. Very tough opponent, another 6A school that the Falcons knock off. And I know you have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Courtney and everybody at Farragut.
Well, you know, I said during the week, and I told Coach Courtney this, you know, before the game. You know, when you're going to play Farragut, you know you're going to get big, strong guys who play hard and are well coached. And that's who they are, you know. And I think coming in, 3 of their losses were all by 3 or less points, you know, coming into this one. And you know, lost on a last-second field goal last week, and you know, and I told my team afterwards, sometimes you get a win and take none of them for granted, but this was a quality win tonight.
Falcons win 33-29. Coach, before the game, you were honored for your 100th win last week at the end of the first quarter. We got to welcome back Coach Buck Coatney to Fulton High School and recognize him for being inducted into the TSSAA Hall of Fame.
Well, you know, special to have him back on campus, and Buck's been a lifelong friend of mine and a mentor, and a guy who's had a tremendous amount of respect from a lot of people around here across this state, you know, and just a good football coach. So to have him back here was special, and I got to speak with he and Terry both for a few minutes before the game, and that was a special moment. And so just happy to have him back, and happy that you know, Mr. Smith and Coach Wright put together a little deal to honor him today for his induction into the TSSAA Hall of Fame, and he's truly deserving of that.
Well, it was a very special night in Falcon Country. Coach, in a game like this, a non-region game, the 9th game of the year, and really the same thing for Farragut, with such a big game next week, how hard was it to get your team focused this week to get ready to play?
You know, it wasn't real hard. You know, I felt like, you know, we're starting to get a little momentum. We're playing with a little bit more consistency, you know, and we've talked about that on this show week in and week out. But I thought we had a good week of preparation, not a super physical week. I mean, we're banged up and beat up, and, you know, got some guys not dressed out, and so super shorthanded, backs against the wall, playing a ton of guys both ways, knowing that they play one guy both ways, and so, but our focus was there, you know. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of me trying to motivate people. It was just a true team focus, and resulted in a true team win tonight.
And I know in watching the film for the game, you knew you had to watch out for number 15, Trace Corum, who's an outstanding wide receiver. He had a big game last week against Bradley Central, and I know he was probably a focus for the defense, and he was hard to stop tonight.
Well, you know, he's made plays about every week, and every time we flipped the film on and watched him, you know, he made plays. Good player, you know, and they did some things with me a couple times. You know, we blew a couple of coverages, but I'm not taking anything away from him. He is a good player, and they went to him, and that's what you do. You go to your studs, and he made some plays on us tonight.
Farragut got on the board first, a 22-yard pass to Corum. The score was 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Then the Falcons are able to find some things on the ground. Davion Chenault, an 8-yard touchdown run to tie it up, and then Close to halftime, you get Marcellus Jackson a 36-yard touchdown run. You were really impressed and really proud with your ability to run the football tonight.
Yeah, I thought running the football was key, and we were able to do that. And that again, our offensive line, I felt like just did a really good job. Felt like we had to win up front tonight, and I think we did that. And I don't remember what the exact stats are. I know you'll have them over there, but I think we had 400-something yards, 450 or 60-something yards of offense, and against Farragut, that's pretty strong, and so if you're going to do that, your offensive line had to do something, and I was awful proud of those guys tonight.
Yeah, the Falcons with 446 total yards, Farragut with 252, so not quite doubled up Farragut, but pretty close to being able to do that. 8.6 yards per play on average. As a play caller, you have to like being able to run off 8-9 yards every play.
Man, wish it was like that every night, but again, I attribute that to just our execution, and I've told these guys all along, we've got good football players and are a good football team when we do things the right way, and we did a lot of that tonight. Farragut
gets a touchdown pass again to Corum for 49 yards right before the end of the first half. The score is 14-14. You almost got a score going into halftime. What was the message to the team? You had the lead and you give up that tough touchdown right before halftime.
We did, but when we came in, the first thing I noticed was our upbeat attitude, a lot of energy, guys believing, tons of confidence, and I liked what I see, when I see those guys come in like that. So I didn't have to really do anything except settle them down a little bit, and we talked about the word finish, and we talked about that during the week. We talked about that during chapel this week, and then again at halftime about finishing the game, and we finished the game.
So the Falcons at halftime 14-14. You're able to stop Farragut on their first drive of the second half. You put a nice drive together to go up 20-14. Again, Marcellus 29-yard touchdown run. Just an electric football player at quarterback. What's been like getting him ready to play quarterback? Obviously, great ability to run the football, but at times was able to throw the football a little bit tonight.
Marcellus can throw it. And we'll throw it when we need to throw it. Now, I sure did like being able to get it on the ground tonight, and with he back there and Davion back there together, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch. And so, we were in a situation where I didn't feel like we had to throw it a whole lot. Let them know that we would, let them know that we could, and we will when we need to, but it's awful nice to be able to lean on those guys and run the football.
Farragut retook the lead in the fourth quarter, 21-20. Fulton missed an extra point. Farragut goes ahead on a 6-yard touchdown run, again by that man, number 15, Corum, made it 21-20. Every time Farragut went ahead, Fulton found an answer tonight. You get a 40-yard touchdown run by Chenault to go up 26-21.
And that's what you have to do. You have to, I said that earlier on, you got to answer the bell, and I thought our defense played well. We gave up a couple of explosives in the game, but again, we were able to answer the call when the bell rang. And again, if our defense gave one up, I felt like our offense picked us up tonight. And really, some of our wins have been the other way. Where our defense has picked up our offense. And tonight, again, I just felt like, every time we got it and needed something, we were able to get it done.
And at crunch time, the defense was flying around and really playing very, very physical, especially Keenan Vaughn, a couple of big hits on the quarterback.
Well, I thought our defense was flying around. I thought it was, they played with a ton of energy. You said it, Keenan coming off the edge, and, Cam and Seth, those guys inside, and, made it tough on them. I don't think they had 100 yards on the ground tonight, best I remember. And again, seeing those guys fly around like that, especially guys that are playing both ways, man, that's fun to watch.
So Farragut, kind of in that fourth quarter situation, third and fourth downs, every time Farragut seemed like they were able to get a conversion. And fourth down, they go ahead. They get a 10-yard touchdown pass to go up with 4:07 remaining in the ball game, 29-26. They get the 2-point conversion. They're up by 3. 4 minutes left. What was the mood of the team? What was your message to the team?
Well, the mood was good, and I've seen us, tuck tail and drop our heads a little bit in those situations earlier on in the year, and but the confidence was there tonight. I think our guys knew that we had been able to put some drives together and put some points on the board earlier in the football game, and why couldn't we do it again? And that's what I saw out of my team, and again, seeing guys play with confidence and believe in each other, and seeing guys wanting to go out there and make plays, and I've told our guys this so many times. I mean, making a play is not necessarily just having the ball in your hands. It might be a kick out block, it might be an ISO block, it might be in pass protection, or it could be running or catching a ball, but we had a lot of guys make plays tonight.
Well, and another thing I think that will maybe go understated in tonight's game is special teams played rather solid tonight in the punting game, getting punts off and pretty decent coverage throughout the night. Little things that make a big difference in helping you win.
Yeah, those again are those things that kind of hide themselves on special teams, and special teams can beat you, special teams can kill you sometimes, and it didn't tonight. I thought we were just solid, solid enough to hold our own, and they're good on special teams. We knew they were. They've got good kickers and punters, and but again, we were solid enough on special teams that we didn't allow it to beat us.
But how many kickers are willing to go down the field on kickoff team and make tackles? Daniel Perez had a couple of tackles tonight on kickoff.
Well, we sat up there just a little bit ago. He may have had collision of the night. He had one really good shot, and he was pretty excited about it. I was too.
So the Falcons, with 4 minutes left, drive down the field. Really no panic, it seemed like. A very methodical drive down the field. A couple of Farragut penalties helped to set up the score. But that was the thing, in a situation with a quarterback in his second start, to have to engineer a game-winning drive, and for that drive to be as clean as it was, has to be pretty impressive to you as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, again, Marcellus, we asked that guy to do a lot, and not just athletically, but that guy's got to use his head some too. And I think our guys believe in him. I think they have confidence in him, and he's not hurting for confidence either himself. So I felt good about it. In fact, there was a couple of times where I started kind of questioning, how fast do we need to go here? Don't want to leave too much time on the clock. And there was a couple penalties where I have the choice on the penalty of, does the ball start on the ready to play, or does it start on the snap, and so I had a few decisions to make there, and I think we gave him a minute something when we scored that last touchdown, and again, our defense was able to preserve it for us.
5-yard touchdown run by Marcellus Jackson. Perez's extra point kick was good to make the score 33-29. Defense has to go out on the field and make a play after giving up a relatively easy touchdown on the drive before, on an easy touchdown pass. Defense stepped up and did exactly what they had to do. Got good pressure on the quarterback, had a couple of big hits on the quarterback, and then Chenault's able to get the interception on the sideline.
He couldn't sit back there and be comfortable tonight, their quarterback. He had people bearing down on him. Whether it was a guy that ran upfield past him and came back on him, or a guy getting him from the side or off the edge. And of course, Seth got him a few times, just rushing up the middle right there. So again, I thought our defensive line put a bunch of pressure on him. There's a lot of times where we just rushed forward, and but you said it. We put our defense, put it in their hands at the end, and we talked about it during the week. I talked about it yesterday after practice, after our walkthrough, and then Coach Harbison mentioned it again before the game. There's going to be a lot of plays out here on Friday night, and we got to be the ones to go make them, and we made a ton of them. So
Chenault's interception salts away the game. Fulton wins 33-29, and you could just sense a lot of joy tonight down on the Falcons sideline. And that, I think the team understood how big of a win this was.
I think so, and I think they're seeing the fruits of their labor, and a lot of guys wore out and tired and kind of beat down, but you get a win like that and you start seeing a little energy come back when the clock hits zeros and the horn goes off. And I saw that tonight, and just proud of my guys and happy for them, and almost ready to just challenge, enjoy it for the weekend, but I'm ready to challenge them again next week. Looking forward to it.
The Falcons now 6-3 on the year, and that sets up next week a huge matchup with Carter. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings in Region 2 4A. As going into the last week of the season, Anderson County in first place, 4-0 overall in the region. And now you've got a situation 2, 3, and 4 as Carter defeated South Doyle tonight. So Carter in second place with a 3-1 record in the region. South Doyle and Fulton both at 2-2. And Gibbs in the picture still with a 1-3 record. Scott at 0-3 overall. So going into the last week of the regular season, you've got a situation where Anderson County has already clinched the region championship, but on down the list things can change quite a bit, Coach, as the Falcons will have an opportunity to take on the Carter Hornets, and South Doyle will play Gibbs next week, and those games could definitely have a say in the way that the standings play out. So next week in the region, Carter will be at Fulton, Gibbs at South Doyle, and Scott at Anderson County. Coach, Carter Hornets come in next week, and they're going to have a lot of confidence, a lot of pride around their program. That was a big win tonight that they had over South Doyle.
They should be confident, and they've put themselves in a pretty good position, and so have we, and this one's going to be huge next week. I mean, we could go anywhere from 2 to 4, as far as playoff seedings go, so, or at least the best I look at it right now. So, again, you talk to your team at the end today and just say, hey, we control us. We control us this next Friday night. So, we don't really have to worry about anybody else. If we do what we're supposed to do and continue to get better during the week and have a good week of preparation and get a win, then we'll line up and see what's next. But I'm excited about that. That's what this time of year is all about, and this is kind of fun for us. Our staff kind of starts looking at things week 8, week 9, as far as, what's it look like if this happens and that happens. But the cool thing is, like I said, man, we take care of our business and we don't have to worry about anybody else.
So it'll be the Fulton Falcons and the Carter Hornets. Game 10, it'll be senior night as well for the Fulton Falcons on Bob Black Field. The Falcons, with the win, would have the possibility of hosting a first-round playoff game, the way the things stand right now for Fulton. But it's going to be a big game. Carter, a very good football team. And, Coach, I know that you're going to want to see a lot of Fulton fans in the stands to try to help the team get over the hump.
I think that would be huge. Number one, let's honor our seniors, and they've been through a lot, but they've come a long way. And then on top of that, this football game is going to be very important. It's going to mean a lot. And for us to have, a packed house, and I know Carter's going to travel well, and, just to feel the energy of the fans, I know that's important to our players, and I'd love to see those guys come out and really support us this week.
Coach, I know you have to be proud of this football team tonight.
I'm super proud of them. I couldn't hug enough necks tonight, when we got back to the locker room, and just super proud of our effort and resiliency and execution, and the way we're getting better and playing for each other and trusting each other, and all those things are important. And so I'm going to enjoy this one this weekend, but Sunday we'll be back at work again.
That's the head coach of the Fulton Falcons, Rob Black, as the Fulton Falcons improved to 6-3 on the year as they defeat Class 6A Farragut by the final score of 33-29. That's all the time that we have for Fulton After Dark. We want to thank you for watching and remind you to join us next week at Bob Black Field for senior night, the last game of the regular season. It's a big one. It'll be Fulton versus Carter. Until we talk to you again, we want to thank Robert Sheffield in the radio studio, Nicholas Slagle, and everyone here at WKCS Radio for putting this broadcast together. We want to say good night, Reagan, good night, Anderson, and as we leave you, let's take a look at our view from the press box on 2 of the big plays closing out tonight's game as the Fulton Falcons win over Farragut 33-29. Thanks, everyone, for watching tonight's edition of Fulton After Dark.
First and goal from the 5. Jackson gets it. Pauses.
Stutter
Gets
step.
down. Touchdown! Broke through a tackle and got into the end zone. Touchdown, Big Maroon. Marcellus Jackson.
Mark Seth Vaughn's
4th
out
and
for this
18
play.
with the game on the line. 33-29. Fulton will rush 4. Back to pass. Dumps it off. Pass. Intercepted! Intercepted near sideline. Here's Chenault.
Go!
Ball down. Ball down, please. Chenault to the 50. He's brought down by Corum. Moore throws his first interception, and Fulton will take a knee, and they will come from behind
And
to
flags
beat
everywhere.
the Farragut Admirals.